Hey y'all, welcome to DemButlers, where we show you what's it really like to live and thrive in Panama. I'm Cass, serial entrepreneur, the researcher, and the one that keeps us on track.
And I'm Dub, I'm the comic relief.
Oh yeah, if you've been thinking about can you live in Panama, should you live in Panama, what's it like to live in Panama, then this episode is for you. By the end, you'll know the truth, the reality, and whether you can do this. Stay tuned.
Okay.
Panama gets a lot of hype. They talk about the great weather, the beautiful prices, the great friendly people, the things to do. But here's the thing, for every person that loves it,
There's somebody that hates it.
there's somebody that hates it.
Shame on
and
you.
they're disappointed. And typically they're disappointed because of expectation, not willing to leave that American mindset and the unwillingness to adapt to a new country. You're gonna have to come prepared. So you can't expect paradise without patience. The pace is slower, much slower. What do we call that, baby? The mañana mindset, the mañana mind.
We'll do it tomorrow, man.
Do it tomorrow. The systems are different, and yes, it rains a lot. Not continuously, not 24/7, but the tropical quick downpours.
Man, you can't have the green without the rain.
Tell them again, baby.
You can't have it.
So we're not gonna sell you a dream. We're gonna help you make a decision. You're gonna figure out if this is really right for you. Is it right for y'all? Is it right for them? You're gonna know. By the end of this, you're gonna know. So here we go. Let's break it down. How does Panama really compare? We think we have a little bit of knowledge in that. But
Just a little
prior
bit.
to deciding on Panama, we did about 10 years worth of research, investigation, reviews ourselves. And Panama is we think it's about that 30th or 40th country that we ended up visiting before we made the decision that this is the one that we wanted. So the cost of living. How do you feel like the cost of living is
I'm
in
happy
Panama?
with it. It ain't the cheapest we've been, but it is not, it's not the most expensive.
Not the
we've been
most
in.
expensive.
So it's
not.
the sweet spot.
It's right there. So, Panama is affordable. It's cheaper than the U.S. in most places, but it is rising, especially in Panama City. There's a lot of us
But
coming.
prices are rising everywhere.
There you go. And a couple can be comfortable. Our sweet spot number about that $2,500 to $3,000 per month.
Correct.
If you can bring that consistently every month, you're going to be fine.
Yeah.
You're going to be just fine. It's going to be a good life for you. Healthcare, definitely excellent private care. Affordable insurance and modern hospitals. For those of you that happen to have U.S.-based health care, one thing that Cedric and I found out with our personal private health care is that we have better coverage in Panama due to the international coverage that's available.
Thanks.
So before you invest in a secondary policy, and definitely before you terminate your current insurance policy because you're leaving to go to Panama, you might want to hang on to it. Contact them in their international department and find out what's your coverage in another country.
First of all, don't terminate anything till you get boots on the ground.
Yeah, I would. We have better health care in Panama. Safety, definitely safer than many Latin American countries, but as always, we always tell everybody, baby, walk around with common sense.
Yeah.
You don't have $10,000 in your pocket and flashing it. You don't, go out and leave your door wide open at 2 o'clock in the morning. But again, would you do that in the U.S.? If so, we're gonna wonder about you. Lifestyle, think tropical energy, slower rhythm and sunshine year-round in the majority of the places of Panama. Definitely tropical energy there. Bottom line, Panama is definitely not a one-size-fits-all. It's not, if I like it, you're gonna like it. If I love it, you're gonna love it. If you hate it, then I'm probably gonna hate it. You're gonna have to figure that out for yourself. But how do you figure that out for yourself?
I don't know.
We're gonna help you out. We're gonna help you here. We're gonna give you a self-audit. So before you invest in an airplane ticket, before you invest in a relocation tour, before you invest in possibly someone's online guide, and which is all fine.
We finna save you money.
We're gonna save you money. This is something you can do right now. Right now. Okay. Tune in. Are we listening? Here we go. Can I handle heat and humidity all year long?
Yeah, I'm built there. I'm about that life.
You tropical like that?
Yeah, man.
Because you know what? Panama has a way. Panama City in particular has a way of waking people up real quick. Oh, I thought I could deal with the heat. I thought it. See, it's a different heat.
Who turned the oven on?
Even for those of you that happen to come from the Midwest or the North, you all feel like, well, we get 95-degree days in New York. You don't get it with humidity.
You said Midwest. I thought you about to talk North Dakota and
But
Indiana.
even on those days, they might get an influx of heat that it might be 90. So when they read, when you read that Panama is 85 today, you're like, oh, I can go down there and handle that. Not with that humidity. Think New Orleans. Think Houston. And sometimes some parts of Florida, but really Florida doesn't even compare. Florida is still more tropical than it is humid. You're gonna need to know that you can survive in a sauna. And that's pretty much the answer too. How long can you live in a sauna? But how do you handle heat and humidity all year long? No breaks. No breaks.
Go on vacation.
Am I flexible with time and pace, or do I need structure? Do you adapt? When you go someplace and it said they were going to be open, but you get to the door and it's closed. Are you one of those? You know what?
You gotta get past that quick.
If plans were canceled at the last minute, if your doctor was not able to come and you had an appointment, I mean, just different things. How are you as a person when those things happen to you? How are you? Are you one of those, I want to talk to a manager?
I mean, I'm retired. I ain't got nothing but time.
How much do I really need to be near my immediate family and friends? Whomever that happens to be, whether that's grandbabies, siblings, parents, your best friend, how much do you really need to be near them? If that's not an answer that you can realistically say, if you're used to seeing them every day that ends in Y, every major holiday you all get together, if you're used to that, this might be something that's too much of peeling off that Band-Aid too fast for you. You might want to crawl before you walk. Am I willing to learn some Spanish?
See.
You're gonna have to learn some. Panama is a Spanish-speaking country. It's a Spanish-speaking country, you guys. No one has to speak English. Do you find people that do speak English amongst other languages? They sure do. Most of them are tri and quadlingual. It's us that only speak one language, okay? But for those of you all that tend to want to navigate to less out of Panama City, Cedric has said this over and over again, you go into some of these rural places, you're going to have a high volume of Spanish speaking.
Yeah.
So you don't want to necessarily be in the city because you feel like the city is too busy for you, but then you also don't want to learn Spanish to go be amongst the other locals.
Interpretation.
You're gonna be, go ahead, baby, tell them what that means.
Interpretation, the further you go out of the city, the more country you're gonna be in. The more country you're gonna be in is more native, meaning Spanish speakers. And if you ain't it, you might be in trouble.
You might be in trouble. You know, we always, and I think most of the content creators that you all watch, we all say the same thing. We all say this. Do not allow Spanish to hinder you from relocating. However, do not be so closed-minded that you're not going to pick up Spanish and you think Google Translate is going to be sufficient. Learn phrases that deal with medical, that deal with shopping, that deal with direction. These are the ones that's going to help you the most. Are you going to be able to communicate quickly in 6 months like someone does on Telemundo? No. That's a wrong expectation. No. Should you be able to say your name, where you live, how much is this, how to get here, turn left, turn right, hold the pepper, can I have more water, where's the bathroom? You sure? Yes, you should. You need to learn those phrases. Learn them. Agua. Okay, Dub. Good job, babe. Hey, at least he knows water. Can I roll with challenges or will I fight them? Remember that one video that we did when we had our maintenance going on in the condo?
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, that was a stress day for me. That was a stressor. At the end of the day, did I succeed and elevate to the expectation of get over it? Everything's not going to go your way? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. 100% did. But it's one of those things, if you are an A-type personality, if you feel like you had an appointment at 1 o'clock and you expect that person to be ringing your doorbell at 12:30, you're going to get over that real quickly. Things are not going to go your way. That doesn't mean that they're wrong. They're just not going to go your way as to what you are accustomed to in the U.S. Okay? Get over it. If you said yes to patience, flexibility, and curiosity, you said yes to those.
Okay, I did.
You'll fit right in. This is for you. Keep it moving. As Dub said, go ahead and book your boots on the ground. Go ahead and book your relocation tour. Go ahead and get your guide. Go ahead and do whatever's going to get you there in Panama to figure it out.
That's right.
If not, okay, that's okay. That's okay. At least you didn't spend any money yet. All you did was sit here and watch this video so far. So you might want to reevaluate, where is it that I possibly can go, that I can answer yes to those? What is it that I can change because I really do want Panama, that I can do better about myself? Should I start navigating around some things? And that is yes.
Well, let me give you a little insight on that. You're not going to change Panama.
No.
You got to do the change.
I said words that I can change about myself. You know, if you're used to seeing your family every day that ends in Y, maybe start weaning yourself off of that. You know, that's what I'm trying to say. You might want to get used to, if you've never left your zip code and everybody you know from the time you've been in kindergarten have lived there, maybe go change the zip code. Like, let's start small. Let's get out of that comfort first.
If you changing zip codes, that's gonna be big, because that means you moving.
You need to move. But for some people that have never moved, and then all of a sudden they want to go to another country, that might be too much.
It might be.
It might be too much.
And you got to be honest with yourself.
You got to be honest with yourself.
Right.
You're the only one that can answer that. So here we go. Now we're going to talk about, here's a quick rundown of Panama's main visa options. Which one did we use?
The Pensionata.
The Pensionata visa. So there are 3 main ones. Those are the ones that we're going to focus on. Okay, we're going to focus. There's many. You can go student. You can go tourism. We're not going to hit all of them. We're going to do the 3 main. Pensionata visa. This is best for retirees with at least $1,000 a month of forever guaranteed income. Plus, if you qualify under the Pensionata, you also segue into being able to have the Jubilata discount, which is for retired persons, and it offers you great savings in country there. The next visa is the Friendly Nations visa. This is great for professionals or investors from approved countries, US, Canada, the UK, who can bring in $200,000 by either purchasing property or investments, okay? And then you have the Digital Nomad visa. This is perfect for the remote worker, the hybrid worker, who are wanting to stay longer than the initial 6 months tourist visa, but they don't necessarily want the full term or the paperwork that goes with residency. But if you got steady income, if you can show that you have a minimum of $1,000 a month forever money, we 100% recommend definitely go by way of the Pensionata visa. It is the easiest path to becoming a resident of Panama. It is great. So I'm gonna hail on the Friendly Nations visa because we feel like we've talked about the Pensionata visa a lot in previous videos because that's the one that we did. Yeah, so that's our area.
You talk what you know.
Keep in mind, we did not utilize the Friendly Nations visa, nor did we utilize the Digital Nomad visa, but we understand there are people that find us resourceful and they like the fact that we tend to break things down, I guess, on a level of understanding. We talk to you with knowledge, but also with easiness. We don't use these big words.
We talk to you like you sitting on the couch.
That's it.
Hey,
so,
man, this is what you should do.
For those of you that are interested in the Friendly Nations visa, Dub and I also understand everybody doesn't have forever money, but they also don't want to be in the U.S. forever. So because they don't have forever money and they don't want to wait until they are, what's the peak for retirement?
62.
That you 62, can get 62, 65, whatever, 67. Whatever that age is that you can totally cap out of it and get all of it. Most people don't want to wait to that time. So if you don't want to wait to that time and you're blessed enough to be able to have a remote job, then some of these other areas might be for you. Or you have access to money. Some of us don't have access to $200,000. But if that happens to be you, listen up. Friendly Nations visa. You have to be from the US, Canada, or the UK. It qualifies with a real estate purchase in Panama with a minimum value in USD dollars of $200,000. Please note, as always, we're going to say this over and over again, we are not immigration attorneys. Do not seek our advice over someone that you have already paid. This is something that is put to be resourceful for you, and you need to reach out and always seek legal consultation. We're going to say that over and over again. As of this video, this is what the minimums are, okay? Alternatively, you may also make a fixed term deposit, also called a certificate of deposit. Some people call that a CD, in a Panamanian bank of at least $200,000 that must be held for a specified period in years. It currently says a minimum of 3+ years. You can also qualify via employment or demonstrating economic ties rather than property investment, depending on the route that you choose. So that when they say employment, they mean that you happen to get a job with a Panamanian company that asks for you to come to Panama to work for them, or you create a job in Panama. So that is also another area. The $200,000 threshold is the commonly cited amount as of 2024-2025 for real estate. The property investment route, the property must be owned or purchased in process and documented in Panama. Logically, you're looking for a Panamanian visa. The property must be located in Panama. They don't mean you go purchase a property in Florida and you think you can get the Panamanian Friendly Nations visa. Hey, you got to tell some people that. The fixed deposit route, the deposit must be free of encumbrances and maintained for the required term. The economic ties route lets some applicants avoid the full investment, especially if they get employment through a Panamanian company or a form of a business. You create your own business where you employ Panamanians. After the provisional residency period of typically a minimum of 2 years. So you are temporary until that 2 years. That is why we say with the Pensionata visa, it is the fastest way because typically you have your permanent in less than 6 months. With the Friendly Nations visa, it's going to take a minimum of 2 years before you get your permanent. The investor can then apply for permanent residency. As always, seek professional advice from your immigration attorney. Now, for those digital nomads, those people who are lucky and able to, wherever they have internet, they can work, this might apply to you. So that's the person who, they want to be able to stay longer than the initial 6 months for a tourist visa.
Okay.
But they want to be able to have something that is not as cumbersome with all the paperwork, either the Pensionata visa or the Friendly Nations visa. So they're in between both, okay?
Oh, and they got a job.
They have, yeah, gotta have a job.
They're
so
working.
That's gonna go there. So digital nomad, this visa was created by Executive Decree Order number 198 in May 2021. So right after the COVID or the pandemic in Panama. Who can apply? Remote employees, freelancers or business owner whose income comes from outside of Panama. Outside of Panama. Minimum income requirement in USD dollars of a minimum of $3,000 per month or equivalent to a minimum of $36,000 per year. Guess for those of you that maybe have some months you make 2, some months you make 10, it needs to be a minimum of $36,000 in 1 year from foreign sources. Duration, the initial stay, the initial time. So when you come to the country, you get to stay up to 9 months plus a possible. When you play spades and somebody says a possible, does that mean it's guaranteed, Doug?
No.
Because anything could happen, can't it?
That's right.
All right. A possible one-time extension for another 9 months, totaling 18 months if the second 9 months is approved. The visa allows remote work for foreign employers and clients, but not local Panamanian source employment. Doug, break that down so they understand that one line.
Man, you ain't taking a job from a Panamanian from what you doing.
Can't do it. Government application fee. It is cited to be $250 plus the immigration ID card of approximately $50, okay? What is required to get this type of visa, the digital nomad? You must gather all your required documents. But first, we're going to tell you this, pause. You're going to get you an immigration attorney because you're still going to have to have that immigration attorney. We're never getting past that, all right? The immigration attorney is going to tell you which of those documents you need, but from these documents, this is what you're going to have.
Building the team.
Building the team. Gather your required documents. That's your valid passport with a minimum of 6 months on the back end. Proof of remote work or business, proof of income, health insurance, your clean criminal record. That means your FBI background check. For those of you that hail from the U.S., you're never getting past the background check.
Lottie-dottie, everybody.
You're never getting past the background check. Okay? The only way that you don't have to get a background check is to utilize the tourist visa because your passport allows you to be in country for 6 months. So for those of you that are concerned about your background, the only visa that you could possibly not have to get one is to just utilize your passport. That's it. You can always get an FBI background check if you come from the U.S.
Okay.
Affidavit that you won't do local work. Yes, they're going to make you sign a statement that says, for me to be in this country, I'm not going to be working and taking any money from a Panamanian.
I promise not to work.
I promise. That's what you're saying under the digital nomad. You must submit the application, often via your immigration attorney in Panama to the Servicio de Nacional de Immigration. That's that building that you went to The same one you get to get your stamp and your temporary.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah.
Timeline. Many sources cite that it could take anywhere from 30 to 45 days, typical processing time if all documents are in order. Once again, CLP Associates, Marco Jimenez is going to say over and 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 over again. Don't you leave the U.S. and come to Panama until they tell you to come. Don't leave. Can it possibly work out? Yes. Can you have had all the documents that you needed? Yes. But what happens if you didn't? What happens if they need one more thing? And now you're in Panama. Wait until they tell you to come. Once approved, you receive the visa and the temporary residency remote worker card. Yes, they have a totally different card. It is not a temporary. It is not a permanent. It is not an e-cedula. They have a totally different card. Then you can live and work remotely in Panama under the conditions. All right, Dub. So there is no widely cited periodic check-in with immigration. That actually has stopped. They don't do that anymore. Like you might use for other type of visas, there are other visas that Panama does welcome. Some of those are for people who happen to come from neighboring countries that are under like asylum. Those they have to check in monthly, but they have stopped that currently for the digital nomad. There are most compliance and document based, so you are going to need your income source and your health insurance and those type of things. You must keep income qualifying, whatever that foreign source is, and your insurance valid for the duration of that initial 9 months or for the renewal for the second 9 months. If you let the income drop or switch local work, you risk losing that eligibility. Listen to that. Or switch local work. You applied under ABC Company. And you said ABC Company, you make $40,000 a year. For whatever reason, 2 months into being in Panama, ABC Company says, we don't need you no more. You can't work here. So you good because you had savings. You happen to go get another job 2 weeks later with EFG Company. But you qualified with ABC Company. You have to go let them know you got a new job with EFC, whatever company, even if it's more money than what you qualified with. You still changed jobs. Okay. It's almost just like changing your address. Everybody can sit there and debate. They can say, but what if? But I got. But they never even. I never even lost a paycheck.
Hey, y'all stop that with your stuff. Let's stop.
What the people say you gotta go do?
There you go.
You gotta update.
Chapter and verse.
There
Follow
you go.
the rules.
Renewal for the second 9 month period requires updated proof of income and that you continue to meet requirements. So that's how they're also going to know you switch companies. Think about what I just said. You qualified under the first 9 months with ABC Company. You went and got a new job with EFG Company. It's now time for your second 9 month renewal and you love Panama. Y'all having the time of your life.
Yeah.
Baby, why did we never do this? This is the best place we could have ever lived. Okay, but baby, go on down there and let them people know you changed jobs because we got to get our second 9 months. When you come in there and you put down the document saying you got EFCG Company, what you think they going to say? Hey, what happened to ABC Company?
You must have messed up.
Hey, what happened to it?
You
Now,
just self-snitched.
could you be told to leave? Could they deny your second 9 months?
Absolutely.
Everything is a could. Nothing is a shall. They have the ability to not grant you that renewal. You didn't update your new job. You might have to leave and get requalified again. That is why they want you to update it. Don't just go do this stuff. If your remote job or business that you qualified with for the visa ends, you're in a gray zone. You would likely fall out of compliance with the visa's requirement, income from foreign sources, or at above the minimum threshold. This could jeopardize renewal of the visa for the second 9 month phase, what I've already told you. All right?
You don't have a job. So.
You don't have a job. Well, I say even if you happen to go find one. Mm-hmm. So this checklist and things to look for, we have added this in our knowledge subgroup that's available in our WhatsApp group. Our WhatsApp group is a community that we have for the Butler Brigaders. Those of you all that watch us on YouTube, send us an email. The description will be in the title as to where you send that to. And you can request to join our WhatsApp community to where you can find not only gems and nuggets, but a lot of this information that we already have typed out for you. You can get to know other people. You can ask questions. You can get your community built.
And more importantly, you become a member of the brigade.
You're the brigade now.
Yeah.
All right, money. Let's talk money. Let's talk real numbers because paradise still comes with a price tag.
It sure do.
To be single, solo, Nobody else. It's just you. What do we recommend? We say about that $1,500 to $2,200 a month that you have to bring in income, you in the good life. That's a good life. Yes, Panama does allow you to qualify for the pensionado visa with $1,000. We've done videos showing you what $1,000 a month life could possibly look like. Most North Americans from the US of A are not going to want to live as a local Panamanian on that $1,000. Most are not. That doesn't mean that all can't. That don't mean that some won't. We're just saying that if you can bring in $1,500 to $2,200 a month, your life just got that much better.
You did.
Couple, $2,000 to $3,500 a month. As a family of 4, $3,500 to $5,000 a month is what you really need to see to have a very good life in Panama. You can live great, just not like you're on vacation every day. Imported stuff, private schools might not be affordable, and luxury living, it does add up fast. The real secret is blending in, not standing out. Local markets, local trends, fondas. That's your big one that you like to say.
Yeah.
Walking a lot, using public transportation, doing all that kind of stuff. So, here's a mini exercise. Y'all listening? I want you to see, you did the questions that I just asked you, and you answered those, and you're like, okay, then I'm ready. Let's go ahead. I can do this.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this is what we're gonna do. I want you to try this for 1 week. Before you leave the comforts of whatever home you happen to live in, try this.
Okay.
You're going to test drive before you buy, okay? Spend 1 week living as a Panamanian. Doug's probably going, how do I do that?
It's gonna
Here
be
in
hard
Dallas,
here.
Texas.
Yeah, man.
You're going to cook with local ingredients. How do you do that? You're going to visit a local cultural store. Many large cities have some type of local cultural store, and I'm not even talking about sometimes a grocery store. These might be bodegas. These might be a lot of foreign people tend to live in communities amongst themselves, especially if they're in the U.S. In those communities, they have their own special grocery stores. If you happen to be here in Dallas, Texas, we see a lot of those almost meat markets that have the Hispanic names on the outside. Mm-hmm. Go to those grocery stores. See, that ain't even big boy. That's not even big box store. That's local grocery store where most people are speaking Spanish. Most of the ingredients are of a cultural or geographic location, and most of the items are also written in Spanish. Go there. Get your groceries there for a week because we're going to see, can you find substitutes? If you happen to like a certain brand of mayonnaise, let's see, can you get something that's not Miracle Whip? That type of thing. That's what we're looking at. You're going to cook with those local ingredients. You're going to skip Amazon for a week. Now, in skipping Amazon for a week, because I know neither here nor there, some of us, for whatever reason, you may or may not be using Amazon. What we're trying to see, not necessarily Amazon, is can you get used to not having quick, fast shipping? Can you get used to that? Now, if you happen to not use Amazon right now, that's not a test for you. But if you happen to, you order something at 2 o'clock and at 4 o'clock it's there, we're trying to see, can you stop that for a week? That's what we're looking at. It's not the boycotting of Amazon that you're looking at. You're trying to see, can I adapt to not getting something fast?
You're trying to do a mind shift.
Yeah, okay.
Because Panama ain't gonna shift.
Yeah. So, can you live on your Panamanian budget? So for those of you that feel like I can do the $1,000, okay. 1,000 divided by 4 is how much a week, Doug?
$250.
I want you to live from Sunday to Sunday on $250 and don't spend $1 more. You need to go grocery shopping. You need to get everything that you need and not swipe, not use savings out that $250. If your budget was the $2,500, divide that by 4. Live on that for the week. That's what you're going to do. You're going to see, can you do it for 1 week? Whatever that set amount of budget is.
Hey, and don't forget to subtract the 25% that's your rent.
Yeah. So do all that. So also you're going to do, you're going to set your thermostat. So for those of you that happen to be in the north and you're like, baby, my AC ain't on right now. Anyway, we don't use AC. That's going to be a little harder for you all because you already got your windows open.
Yeah, you turn the heat on.
For those of us that are down here in the southern states where we've had AC on, since March, turn it up to 78 and see if you can get up to 82. See if you can get up to 82. That means sleeping as well. See, can you adapt to a more humid environment? The funny thing is, Dub and I say, after about being in Panama for about a month, you quickly adapt.
Yeah, you start to adapt
to
real quick.
AC, and AC becomes too cold anyway. About a month of living there.
Yeah.
Walk or take public transportation as best as you can. I realize all areas are not going to allow you to necessarily be in public transportation or walk. And for those of you that have the ability of having an area that you live in that has Uber, I want you to use Uber. Why Uber? Because Uber is the preferred mode of transportation for those of you that do rideshare in Panama. There's another one that's called InDrive, but you can't really get InDrive here in the US, but you can try Uber. I want you to try Uber. I want you to change your pinpoint. I want you to see the driver. I want you to see how do you change the car. I want you to get used to using Uber. That whole week, that's what you're doing. So you're gonna walk, you're gonna use public transportation, you're gonna use Uber.
Okay.
All right? You'll quickly see if this lifestyle is for you. If you crash and burn, that's okay. Crashing and burning when you're at home, and meaning your home state, that's what you need to do. Because to crash and burn when you're in another country, that's not the path you want to take. You don't want to just can't make it in another country. So if you are finding that this was very hard, I can't do this, Panama may not be right for you right now. Get those better under control before you actually make the relocation out of the country. So in conclusion, Panama can absolutely be paradise. Can it not, Doug?
It can.
If you come with flexibility, curiosity, and patience, you're not escaping your old life. It doesn't matter what Dub and I say, how much we love Panama. We always let it be very much known. We love the U.S. This is where we were born. This is our country. This is home. But we also love Panama. We're not escaping the U.S. There have been statements out there, people going, man, I wonder what all these people are going to do when they try to crawl back to the U.S. in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years with their leg between it. No, everybody's not escaping. Some of us have realized that the world is a big old place.
That's right.
And we want to see it and enjoy it and expand on it.
Facts.
Plan smart, dream big, and live bold, but do it planned. If you don't have a plan, you're going to fail.
Yeah.
I can 100% tell you, if you don't have a plan, you're going to fail because you're just out there just free willy just doing it. So, thinking about Panama, I hope you watch this episode, then join us for episode number 2.
Dos.
We're going to talk about your first month in Panama, the culture shock playbook, what to expect, how to adjust, and what nobody tells you. All right? So before you go, this is what I want you to do. You think Panama fits your lifestyle? Let us know. Comment yes, maybe, not yet, but I'm working on it. And tell us why. We read every comment, and you never know. We might even decide to share and do a special. We're going to read a FAQ section one day or our frequently asked questions and share those. Don't forget to like, share, comment,
Subscribe.
With that, y'all, we're out.
Take care.
Peace.
We'll see you in part 2.